Alright guys, welcome back to another live weather update here. We're going to be going over all the details and specifics here on the warnings, latest advisories, and everything else that's been issued. There's been a few changes as well. There's going to be back-to-back snow systems, so even though you might not get a foot of snow or 9 inches of snow or 8 inches of snow, it's not about how much snow is actually falling across the area. It is the overall huge impacts of this system, right? It is covering a large portion of the central United States, going into portions of the upper Midwest and upper Ohio Valley even, right? You got all the snow here on the north side, and then you got this freeze and rain corridor here on the south side. You got some flooding rains all the way down here into portions of the central southern plains. So when I talk about a major system, this is the concept of a major system, right? It's the overall impacts across many states, right? So it doesn't matter if you're getting a foot of snow or 8 inches of snow or 5 inches of snow. It's the overall impacts across many states, because remember, when all this snow is falling across many counties or many states all at once, they have to distribute plows to all the major interstates and major highways, right? They can't cover every single road in that state at the current time. So it's going to cause travel impacts. I mean, you're going to have neighborhoods, towns that might not even get plowed, or the roads are really messy, accidents occur, people sliding off the roads, because it's overall impacts across many areas. So we're going to go ahead and break down into all those details here and kind of talk about everything. So Kansas City, obviously, they still got some red in there for some major impacts, moderate impacts overall across Kansas City. Your impacts across Kansas City, Missouri won't even start till later on this evening into the overnight hours is when you're probably going to start across that area. I do expect some major travel impacts here across the 70 corridor here, all the way across northern Kansas and Topeka, starting this afternoon and evening hours, and then also extending into portions of some of these north to south road highways as well. West-east roads are definitely going to get hit with some northerly winds out on the northeast side of the system. So I do expect some partially blown and drifting snow, because overall winds across majority of the system, like I said, it's not fully organized, and like I said, that's what determines the strength of the system, is how organized it was going to be, but it's not fully organized. But the next system behind this one going into the weekend is going to be a lot more organized, and we'll talk about those details after this. So this system is going to have overall wind impacts in some areas that may be reaching 20-25 miles an hour winds. It's not suitable for significant blowing and drifting snow, but you could still get blowing and drifting snow, some low visibility down to a quarter mile or half a mile at times. Another area I'm worried about as well is also your 35 corridor here, going in from basically Kansas City all the way up into Des Moines. You could definitely have some travel impacts after midnight tonight across this region here. And then you also got Interstate I-80 here, basically from Des Moines from Iowa City all the way into Devonport here. Could have some issues after late tonight into the early morning hours on Wednesday. Watch out for those corridors as well. Then you also have I-80 here across portions of northern Illinois in 88, 90 corridor, and also 39 here. Watch out for these interstates here, having some travel impacts as well as snow moves in. Wednesday into Wednesday evening across this region area, and also here getting some moderate impacts here and major impacts showing up here on the severity scale for Milwaukee here. That being said, that's probably because this is basically a gamble here, right? What I'm really watching here is this whole corridor right here in particular. You're going to be having easterly, northeasterly winds here out ahead of the system, just like this, feeding in, right? And you're going to have moisture being lifted up out of the southeast or southerly as the system's on approach. You also got some lake enhancement coming in. It's just going to feed some of these totals here across basically extreme far northeast Illinois into southeast Wisconsin, where some of these locations out here could reach locally near a foot of snow. Is the possibility, because you're going to have lake enhancement feeding in from the lake with the actual snow system coming at the same time. So you could be talking snowfall rates of maybe an inch plus an hour snowfall rates for several hours across this area, and we could be talking here between 6 and 12 inches in this circled area here across northeast extreme Illinois and southeast Wisconsin. It is a gamble, but you are going to have some lake enhancement here, so there could be some major impacts here across a large portion here across northeast Illinois near the lake shore. I'm going up to Milwaukee, because you're also going to have some strong gusty winds coming off the lake that could increase blowing and drifting snow, where you could have some low visibility, maybe 35 mile an hour winds near the lake shore. So that's something else to watch out for too. Like I said, the overall impacts here is looking very interesting. Let's go ahead and switch over to the warnings here, because there is new warnings now here being issued across the area. And we're going to go ahead and break those down and go over those details. Oops. It's not loading in. Let me restart that. One second. Here we go. So you can see Chicago went ahead with the winter weather advisory just to be on the safe side. Because like I said, system isn't coming in as enough stronger. The system's pulling more north, but it's not as organized as it's supposed to be. So that being said, they went ahead with a winter weather advisory here across this portion here of northeast Illinois into northwest Indiana for 3 to 6 inches here across this area. Like I said, in the area I did circle across northeast extreme Illinois into southeast Wisconsin, those can still be upgraded to winter storm warnings once confidence does increase. I did read their area forecast discussion where there is possible totals that could get over near to almost locally a foot in some areas if the lake enhancement does feed with the system. So that'll be northeast extreme Illinois, like Waukegan, Lake County area, into Lake Kenosha areas. So we'll be watching that to see what happens, but they still have winter storm watches here. They are not advisories or warnings yet here across portions of Michigan and also southeast Wisconsin. So winter storm warnings now expand all the way towards Peru and end there, and those are all advisories to the south of that. But right here, those are all winter storm warnings here. So Princeton, let's just click on their warning here. They're talking about 5 to 8 inches of snow from basically 6 a.m. Wednesday to 3 a.m. on Thursday morning. So travel could be difficult at times. Hazardous conditions could impact Wednesday morning and evening commute. That's what we've been talking about. They say 5 to 8. I just did 4 to 8 pluses. 4 to 8 plus is possible, so kind of in the same range here. But like I said, it's a large portion of some winter storm warnings and advisories here. So like I said, when we talk about the overall impacts of how large this system is, from all over there, the advisories over there, that's 1,100 miles right there in stretch of advisories, warnings, and watches. So large system. And for the flood threat here, down here they got flood watches as well for the southern portion of this. But yeah, this is going to be a fun little system. I would say this is almost like the pregame system, because the one going into this weekend looks a lot better than this one, because we're going to have more cooler. This system's going to feed more cooler air behind it, because our temperatures are going to plumble all the way down into single digits and teens in some areas, and wind chills reaching negative across Minnesota. That cold air is going to wrap in behind this system. When this system exit, we have about a day to recover a little bit, but nope, the cold air is going to be set in place, and then we're going to have the other system comes in this weekend. So that's going to be fun. What do you think? Do you think, in your professional opinion, that the places like LaSalle, Illinois will be upgraded? It doesn't matter if you're in a winter storm warning or an advisory, right? I mean, you're pretty much borderline between it. Don't pay too much attention to the warning and the advisory criteria. You know, the advisory criteria is just based on that, it's just the weaker side of the system. The warning criteria is more of like, you know, you're getting more significant amounts of snow, but the overall impacts, you're still going to have widespread snow. I mean, people still slide on an inch of snow on I-80 all the time, and people getting crashes on 94 in Northwest Indiana on sunny days. So, I mean, the overall impacts, I mean, there's going to be dummy drivers out there regardless. So, but just for example, here's Davenport, same thing. They're talking about 5 to 7 inches. Just click on this guy right here near Des Moines. They got 5 inches expected. Snowfall rates will generally be 1/4 to 1/2 inch per hour, with periods of 1 inch an hour. Snowfall rates are possible. So I like how Des Moines is always more descriptive with their stuff too. So I might head out there, I-80 corridor, or just near Des Moines, and just kind of cover that area. Depends. I don't know where I'm going yet to chase this winter system, but probably head west at this point. Northwest Indiana, let's check that out. I don't believe that there's going to be any northwest flow behind this system enough supported for substantial lake effect snow, but let's go ahead and check that out. See, this is just the European model. And the European model shows 2 areas, right? European model shows the lake enhancement there across northeast Illinois, southeast Wisconsin, where some areas between like 4 and 8 inches, right? That's just the European model. And you got across Iowa enhanced totals almost near 10 inches. And then we go into the weekend. Look how the totals rise when the weekend system comes in. So like I said, we have another snow system coming in behind this. But take away the weekend system, that's what the European model is trying to show. I think the GFS model is still out to lunch on everything at this point. Yeah, it's not even going that far south, so the GFS model is dumb. Canadian model, I just don't know. I still agree with the NDFD forecast model. So the NDFD forecast model is in pretty much good agreement here with this system overall. And then it shows some totals reaching almost near a foot across southeast Wisconsin and northeast Illinois, where that lake enhancement there. So if we zoom in here across Chicagoland area, I'll get to your lake effect snow here in a second. Let's go ahead and zoom in on Chicago here. You see those totals right there? The max depth in possible totals is 9.1 inches. It's picking up on that lake effect, lake enhancement there. So you see those totals get pretty heavy there across Milwaukee, Kenosha, near towards Waukegan, and the Lake County area, where it's possible some lake enhancement being fed into the system as the system's on approach. So there's a possibility you could be talking here between like 6 and 12 inches across southeast Wisconsin and northeast Illinois up there towards Waukegan. And then we go over here towards Milwaukee. I think I have Milwaukee on here. No, I don't. I also don't have Des Moines on here either. Okay, so let's just go back out of this and go to Iowa then. And then here's Iowa for totals. System goes right here across northern Missouri into southern Iowa and into Davenport. Fun little system. Oh, yeah, the lake effect. You asked a question about the lake effect. Snow day for Chesterton on Thursday, you think? No. No, I don't think you'll have a snow day. No doubt they'll make you still go. But no, I don't see any significant lake effect coming in behind this with like a northwest flow. I don't even think the herd model even picks up anything either. Yeah, herd model's just out to lunch on everything right now. Well, actually, no. I stand corrected. So, see, it's trying to swing. It's swinging in a lake effect snow band behind this, and the herd model always does a good job picking this stuff up. So it looks like there is a possible lake effect snow band. Right there. Maybe a possible lake effect snow band, but the flow is going to switch out of the northwest and westerly winds pretty quick. So this, even if there is a lake effect snow band here, you would need more stronger northerly or northwest flow to kind of help it to stay in one place. I do expect there could be some heavy snowfall rates with it and some low visibility with it. But I mean, there could be a possible chance of some lake effect snow there across northwest Indiana and southwest Michigan, as that band kind of hugs in behind the system as the system exits. This lake effect snow band could possibly come in behind it, moving in across basically southeast Wisconsin. But you can see that's part of the lake enhancement there. The band starts to move in across those areas in Cook County into portions of northwest Indiana and then southwest Michigan through Thursday morning. So there's a possible chance of lake effect snow, but the band probably won't stay in one spot. So you could be picking up maybe 1 to 3 inches with this band. Additionally, once more details, fine print kind of comes in about it. So that's what we're watching for that. So that's your question about the lake effect snow. Now this this system is just coming in way too disorganized at this point. The only overachieving that it could possibly do is transport more moisture into a heavier F-gen band setting up or a mesoscale banding. But it's just not getting that look to it. Let's see here. Oops, we went way too far out. Yeah, the way the system just looks so disorganized. Look at this. It's just a European model picture. Like for a more well-developed system, you would have had a deepening low already going into Missouri, into Illinois. Your wind bars would have been a lot closer by now. You would have had a stronger wrap with moisture wrapping all the way around, bringing in a heavier snow band all the way around. But you're only going to get these heavier snowfall totals in some of these brief or heavier bandings that try the wrap around. But your heaviest of the snow is going to be the transport of that moisture overlapping and again push north, and then also the lake enhancement feeding off the lake in southeast Wisconsin and northeast Illinois. So 2 areas that are probably going to see the heaviest snow out of this event are probably going to be Iowa and northeast Illinois and southeast Wisconsin. Other areas you could be looking at between 3 and 8 inches of snow in some areas, but it all depends on where you're at in the heavier banding. And you also have to look out the possible chances of some dry air infiltrating from the backside that could eat away at some of these totals as well. But that's what it looks like with the overall system. The one coming in behind us looks a lot more healthier going into the weekend. Here's the one going into the weekend. See, the one going into the weekend has a lot more moisture being pulled with it. System is a lot more stronger. It's also supports strong severe weather to the south as well. And then you got lake enhancement there feeding in. So I do like this weekend system coming in a lot better. You can see there's a strong lake enhancement northwest flow coming in behind that. And then you'll be talking about lake effect as well, where there could be a longer event, lake effect snow event behind the weekend system across portions of northwest Indiana. But between this system and this weekend system, that's what the European model is trying to push out, combined totals. But don't worry about the weekend system till this system leaves, obviously. But yes, possible chances for some lake effect snow behind this system, but probably won't get into better fine print details till after the system leaves. But it's not this. Don't expect the lake effect snow band to stall in any locations. So let's go back to Illinois. And this is the NAM 3-kilometer model. See how the system just comes in unorganized. You get these some brief heavier bandings of snow. You get the freezing rain line down here. Some open areas, some dry air that could try to get in and infiltrate it. You can see that lake enhancement there feeding into southeast Wisconsin, northeast Illinois. So that's basically what it's going to look like on Wednesday. The system leaves. Bam, done. And then your temperatures, your actual surface temperatures starting out throughout much of the day on Wednesday. Looking very nice. 28s, 29s, lower 20s here from the backside. But after the system exits, going into Thursday morning, you can see that cold air comes into late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. You can see there's some single digits out there across Iowa, even some negative digits up there across northern Iowa. I do expect the real wind chill in some of these areas across northern Illinois Thursday morning to be reaching single digit wind chills. So it's going to be cold Thursday morning after the system does exit Wednesday night as it leaves. So it's going to be dragging in some very cold air. But yeah, going back to the radar now. This is the overall threat of the winter system. Not a lot more details to kind of go over before I actually do go. Just pull up the model that I do trust to use with this system, which is my NDFD forecast model. This is what I'm going with on the NDFD forecast model with totals here. Just kind of zoom in back on Chicago again. NDFD model is pretty much very accurate. It is picking up the lake enhancement very well across southeast Wisconsin, northeast Illinois. It's not overshooting totals. It's not underperforming totals. It's pretty much there. And anything over 6 inches of snow is pretty good. So it's plowable. People do get stuck in 3 inches of snow. Even a ½ an inch of snow on the road can still cause issues with 20-degree temperatures when it ices and no one salts. So but that's what we're looking at here. And then we have the freezing rain here. We didn't talk about the freezing rain yet. Here's some freezing rain there across portions of St. Louis metro area into southern Illinois and central northern portions of Indiana. I don't think the freezing rain is going to be a big event with this because, like I said, your surface temperatures down there are fighting with cooler air, and most of them are only showing 33 or 34 or 32 degrees. So freezing rain, when it falls with 32 degrees or higher, you're not looking at significant icing impacts unless your temperatures are 29 degrees or under. So I wouldn't worry about that as too much. You could get some elevated icy surfaces around St. Louis metro if the temperatures are around 30, but I doubt that too. But other than that, that's all I have with this forecast. Hope you guys stay safe. I'll be streaming out there. Feel free to message me if you have any questions, especially if you have a business that would like to be advertised on my pages. Stay tuned for later updates, and that's about it.